All right, YouTube, we back with another one, man. Gonna make this one a quick one. I just figured I'd make this video real fast because I want to show y'all how I set up my Glocks fresh out the box. Nothing crazy, man. It's not gonna be no attachment video. I'm not gonna be throwing an optic on here just yet or any type of crazy, attachments and any add-ons. Just a quick little simple fix that works for me. I don't know if it'll work for you, but I'm gonna make this video short and just kind of show y'all what works for me. Like I said, it could work for you, but it's just a little bit of a upgrade that I will call it, that just helps the gun feel more comfortable when shooting, carrying, just able to get a better purchase on it. So basically it's simple, man. One thing I'm not the biggest fan on is the texture on the Glocks. They're not the worst. I mean, I'm used to it already. You know, I've had my fair share of Glocks by this point in time. So one thing I've learned over time shooting Glocks a lot, I mean, I've had other firearms. I know a lot of y'all that see my channel now, you know, if y'all haven't watched all my old videos or if y'all haven't been rocking with me since before, you know, back then when I first started my channel, I've had a lot of different guns prior to me, you know, getting really into Glocks to the point that that's like pretty much all I shoot now. Like exclusively, that's what I shoot. Will I ever add any other firearms to the channel? Probably, but for now, Glocks just work for me, man. You know, I kind of really got a ecosystem. You know, all my magazines are compatible with each other, so kind of really hard to kind of shy away from that. But not saying I never will. I mean, I do got my eye on a few other guns, but that's neither here or there. The point is, like I said, after shooting Glocks for some time, I've realized that my palms get really sweaty, and this texture does not help. When I'm at the range and I'm shooting for a long time, you know, sometimes I spend 2 or 3 hours at the range. This texture could really get crappy when your hands start sweating. Your palms start sweating, and the gun will just start to get away from you. Now, I do expect that to happen with this one, so I'm going to avoid that. And pretty much what you see before me right here, you don't have to use goon tape. I like goon tape because it works for me. A lot of people say they use standard, regular hockey tape. I've used a bunch of different hockey tape before, and for me, the goon tape definitely works great. I mean, for what you get for the price, I'm not going to get into pricing because I don't want YouTube tripping, but goon tape pretty much just works. Like the bang for the buck is there. I've had this for like, I don't know, 2 years now maybe, and you can see how much film I have left. And I've put in this on everything. I've used it on my Draco when my wood was loose. I put it on my AR most recently to help out with the grip texture. I've put this on multiple Glocks that I own, and time after time it proves itself, man. The adhesive does not come off. It stays stuck on there for a while, and unless you take it off, that's the only way it really comes off. I mean, I've shot a lot of rounds through pretty much all my guns with goon tape, and even when my hand gets sweaty, it doesn't slip off. It just stays there, you know what I mean? And it definitely increases the texture. You don't have to put a whole bunch of layers. I say just layer it to the point where it marries up to your palm, that it feels comfortable with you gripping it, or as though like you're not thickening it too much, you know, especially if you already have a big gun. You don't want to add too many layers because then it'll thicken up the grip to the point where it's just going to be too much for you to get your hand around. See, for me, my hand kind of dwarfs the 34. Like, I have pretty like long fingers. My fingers are pretty long. So, while, yeah, I'm not the biggest guy, but my hands definitely are not the smallest. So it's very easy for me to get a purchase. As y'all can see, this is a full-size 34, and my hands wrap comfortably around the gun. So for me, it does take a few layers. For you, it might be different if you have smaller hands or you have shorter fingers. You probably don't want to wrap, like I said, too many layers around. For me, a couple of layers, I have to go a little bit on the extra side, and I will add a back strap to it. I cut my back straps because normally I'll run a magwell, and not only a magwell. Typically, I don't run a magwell, but I have done it on some of my guns, and cutting the back strap on the Glock just helps because I don't need all that excessive, add-on that the back strap adds, all that excessive space that it takes up that you don't really need, at least for me. So basically, I got the back straps right here, and I'm gonna do this off camera, even though it's a simple fix, but I don't want YouTube tripping. So I run the large back strap. Some of y'all might run the medium, some of y'all might not run it at all, but I like running the back strap beaver tail because It does help with slide bite. I have gotten slide bite before, and as you can see, my hand kind of gets up right there, and I don't really like that, because with the beaver tail, it just allows you to get higher up of a grip, a much higher grip, much higher purchase, which adds to your shooting comfortability. It'll help you get better with your grip, which will help you be more accurate, help you shoot better. So for me, I personally run the beaver tails on all my Glocks. So I'm not gonna say too much more. I'm gonna cut the camera off. I'm gonna install my chopped beaver tail with the goon tape, and then I'll cut the camera on when I'm done and kind of show y'all what I mean, rather than just telling y'all. So stay tuned. All right, YouTube, we back, man. So as y'all can see, like I was saying, I installed my grip tape, my goon tape. Pretty much wrapped a few layers around it. To be honest, I would tell y'all how many times I went around it, but I kind of forgot. I always tend to forget. I always say I'm gonna count how many times I wrapped around. It's got a little bit of lint on it. It's kind of just, goon tape is kind of prone to that because the adhesive is so sticky. But once you shoot it a few times, you know, get your palms on there, sweat it out on there, break the tape in a little bit, get it kind of rubbed in to the frame. Believe it or not, it flattens out. It kind of marries up to the frame just right. It shapes out perfect. So right now it might look a little bit, you know, kind of squared up, but over time, you know, when y'all see me doing update videos and stuff like that, you'll realize that the tape, or if you also use it yourself, you probably already know what I'm talking about. The tape kind of just almost like it molds into the frame the more you shoot it. So yeah, not my best work. Like I said, I've been doing this probably about 2 years now. I've been using the goon tape, and it just works for me, man. I know a lot of people use the Talon grips. I've had the Handle It Edge series grips, but to be honest, for, you know, half the price of that, you really can't beat it when it comes to using the goon tape. And for the amount of tape that they give you a good amount. I mean, I showed you the layer that I have, and I just wrapped a bunch of tape on here, and I still got a bunch left I could probably use for a bunch more firearms that I get. But like I said, man, it's just a quick little upgrade, nothing crazy. For me, it just helps out with my sweaty palms. Like I said, it increases my shooting ability a lot better. Is it going to turn you into John Wick? No, but it will allow you to shoot more without your palms getting so sweaty and the gun kind of getting away from you when your palms do get sweaty. And also I added the chopped beaver tail, so I kind of did that real quick off camera because, like I said, I didn't want YouTube tripping. But as y'all can see, that little indentation right there, the beaver tail does not follow all the way down like the traditional one. I basically just kind of trim it just below the pin of where the trigger housing pin goes. I cut it just below the trigger housing pin, just so the top of my palm can marry right into it when I get that grip up on the gun, as you can see. So as you can see, it allows me to get a much higher grip. Absolutely no room for slide bite whatsoever. So when that slide is reciprocating when you're shooting, I don't have to worry about getting that slide bite. So that's why I run the large back strap, because the large back strap, you might not really be able to tell unless you put them side by side, but the large back strap protrudes a little bit more than the medium. So I run the larger beaver tail just for that matter, because I want to increase my chances of being able to get as high up on that grip as I can. So when I make that purchase, when I'm at the range, it's just gonna be just right. You know what I mean? At least for me. I know for y'all, y'all might not care. Y'all might see it as excess weight, but I prefer the beaver tails with the goon tape. I feel like this combination cannot be beat. You could say stippling, whatever you want to call it. If you want to spend $300-400 on a stippling job, be my guest. But I like the stippling work, me personally. I don't have $300-400 to throw away down the drain just for some stippling work. I mean, it's really nice. I mean, I know it can be done at home, but me personally, I don't have the time or the money for that. So I feel as though this just works best for me. It's been working for me on pretty much all my Glocks since I've been using the goon tape. For me, it's a must-do upgrade. For you, I don't know. Whatever works for you is just gonna work for you. I'm just showing y'all some tips on how you can help improve your shooting. Because believe it or not, these two little simple upgrades just go hand in hand with each other, and it will increase your shooting time, comfortability, which will allow you more practice time behind the gun at the range. Because what good is the gun if you can't get to the range and, you know, practice and be able to actually shoot the gun and spend some time with it? If you only go into the range for 20, 30 minutes, you're not really getting a lot of training out of that. And even if you dry firing at home, your hands are still going to get sweaty. If you dry fire long enough, drawing from the holster, you know, pulling the trigger, using snap caps, your hands are still going to get sweaty. So either way, I feel like this is going to work whether you at home or you at the range. Like I said, just a quick, simple upgrade, y'all. I ain't really got too much more. I know y'all probably thought I was going to throw some crazy attachments on here. I ain't ready to do all that. I literally just got the gun yesterday. So honestly, this is just for now. This is just literally how I set my Glocks up out of the box. Like, as soon as I get it home, this is the first thing I do. Before I do any other upgrade, this is the first upgrade that I'm adding on any of my Glocks. So like I said, man, like you already know, if you already tuned in and y'all made it this far, I appreciate y'all for watching the whole video, man. If there's anything else y'all want to know, like I always tell y'all, just hit me up in the comments, man. Otherwise, I'm going to stop the video here. Y'all be safe, man. Stay strapped. I'll catch you on the next one.